Hello my loves, welcome to another episode of This Is What a Witch Thinks About. So when I launched this channel I always had an idea of playlists, so I kind of wanted to do tarot reads because that's what I love. I've just done a film collage of like a spoken poetry, because obviously that's what I write. With This Is What a Witch Thinks About, I write a combination of like poetry and kind of philosophy. And then another playlist was kind of just like chatting about things. So this is going to be one of those videos. And today I want to talk about 5 ways to cultivate your creativity. This video is really good for people who are already creatives like myself, or people that want to get into their creativity, want to engage in their creativity. The first thing I'm going to say about creativity is that everybody's creative. Creativity is something that is not cultivated in our kind of school systems. It might be changing now, but it's more like about, math and science and English, and creativity is like something like an elective you do. Creativity, I say this in the article, is by far the most important endeavor I have ever done, apart from becoming a mother. Becoming a mother is, that's an initiation like no other. But creativity is where you meet yourself over and over and over again. On Substack, there's a lot of talk about creativity, right? So there's people that sit on the fence of, I create when I'm inspired, right? I'm not going to be forced to create. I'm not a robot. I'm going to create when the inspiration comes to me. And then there's the other side that's more about discipline and creating every day. I kind of sit in both. I believe that there is 100% cycles. For me, I'm very synced up with the moon, so it's like I can feel it straight away after that full new moon that I'm like, I have ideas coming out over in this whole thing about all these videos I want to film. Like, it's just ideas pinging off. And I've got a lot of energy and I'm really inspired. And so I ride that out. I might film 3 or 4 or 5 videos in that week. I might write 3 or 4 or 5 articles in that week. And then when it comes up against the full moon, I really feel the desire to relax and chill and maybe smoke some weed and just chill out, So I probably won't be as creative in that time, but I make it a conscious effort to do some form of writing every day. Creativity is a muscle. If you wait for inspiration, you might be waiting forever. When I don't want to write and I do write, sometimes I write the best things. It is a balance between pushing yourself and also respecting yourself. That's where I sit. It's like a balance, right? But balancing is going from either side, one side to the other, and being like, okay, I need to bring in more discipline, or I need to chill out on the discipline. That's what balance is. You're going in and out. 5 ways to cultivate your creativity. So my first one is be outside. Be outside as much as you can. Like, the natural world is the most creative space there is. Just being outside, having the sun on your face, but even in winter, having the snow or having the cold winds. If you can go outside, I feel like going outside is almost like a symbol of like getting outside of your head, going for walks. It's when I've written my greatest work. Like, my greatest work, if I look on Substack and see what's been the most well received, it's always been written when I've been walking. Going outside is like almost, it's simultaneously like moving the body, right? But it leads me on to number 2, movement. So I always find recently when I'm feeling really terrible, uninspired, upset, angry, I clean the house. And man, cleanliness is close to godliness. I so agree with this. Nothing shakes me out of my funk like cleaning the house. After a yoga practice, I am filled with creativity. I just started weight training, and after my 30-minute weight training, I went and wrote a whole article. It's movement and creativity, I think, they're lovers. They work really well together, like dancing, like yoga, walking, this is what I'm saying. So it's like, move your body. Number 3 is pay attention. Pay attention. This might actually be one of them. They're all really important, but pay attention. Like, Josh and I always laugh that he's like, no one's more curious than you. Like, I'm so curious. I walk down the street and maybe I'm nosy, but I'm always trying to like look in people and be like, oh, what are they doing? What's going on there? And what's happening here? And what's that? And what's that? And what's that? But it's like curiosity, I think, that like piques my excitement for the world. If you pay attention also to your external world, it says a lot about your internal world, and it says a lot about the world as a whole. You can go to the park and you can watch the way people are with each other and the way they talk, and it'll give you a narrative of the world. I pay attention to the birds, or I watch the trees. Staying still, being still and paying attention to things. It's the real thing as well we're missing, because we're in such a distractive time, because of these phones. It's like, I go out a lot and I don't bring my phone, and I'm the only person that's like sometimes just sitting there and everyone's got their phone, I think people think I'm a freak, but that's when I'm like, I'm not gathering intel, but I'm watching, the world is such a fascinating place. Like, I don't know why we want to be here. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so fascinating to just be like, wow. So number 4, if you want to really cultivate your creativity, do it every day. You don't have to write huge manuscripts. You don't have to draw perfect paintings, but just do something every day. So it's like, if you want to paint, like sketch every day. If you want to write every day. If you want to dance every day. It's a muscle. Creativity is a muscle, and it needs to be exercised, So it's like, do it every day. Commit to some form of practice every day. There's a lot of talk between writers about writer's block and like not being inspired, and I've never encountered writer's block. Even when I have nothing to write about, I write about having nothing to write about. I have never struggled for inspiration. I have never struggled to write. I mean, I'm a talkative person, I'm a talkative sign, that Libra and Gemini rising. But I think this is because I've cultivated it in the way that I'm doing it every day. Do something creative every day, and you will see, before you even know it, that all of a sudden creativity has become a part of your life. That's what you want, right? You want creativity to become a part of your life the way exercise is, the way socializing is, the way sleep is, because that's how important creativity is, When we look at the brain, like the primal emotions, I don't know them all, but I think it's like, there's like fear, lust, maybe rage, but play is one. Play is primal. This is how important play is. It's so important. We're now uncovering, there's now studies being done that show forcing children to read and write and sit still before the age of 7 is paralyzing their brain. We want to cultivate it again in our life. And my number 5 is, tell yourself you're a creative, because you are. I know a lot of people around me that say, I'm just not creative. I'm not creative like you, but you're creative. I'm not creative. Everybody is creative, as I said at the beginning. Everyone is creative. You're having a unique experience, and creativity is just expressing that. So every single person is creative. There is not one single child I know that isn't creative. They're all creative in different ways. Some might be looking at the bushes. Some might be making stick figures. Some might be playing with trucks, but they're all creative. Not being creative is something you've been taught. So it's like, you may have drawn differently at school. My husband drew differently to his friend, and the teachers called his parents in and said, this is Trevor's drawing and this is Josh's drawing. And it's so ridiculous. It's like, there is no one way to be creative. So you've probably been taught that you're not creative because you didn't draw a certain way or you didn't write a certain way, but it's crap. We're all creative. And then start seeing it all as creative. I've talked about this a lot. I've done a little short about it, but about everything being art, Start seeing it like everything is creative, because this will allow creativity to really seep into your life. So like, you wake up in the morning and you get dressed, you choose your outfit, and it's like a creative process. You do your hair, it's a creative process. You do your makeup, it's a creative process. You go for a walk, it's creative. We had friends come over and visit us from England. Josh's friends came and visited us, and they came over to our house, and they said, your house is such an art piece. It's so you two. It's so you two as a couple, This is another creative space that we get to as a creative endeavor. So much has that been taken from us. There's these modern houses that are popping up everywhere, and everyone likes white and minimalist, and it's like, no one wants to be seen. We're taught conformity, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just want to conform so I fit in, we don't want to be seen. It's so important to be seen, and that's part of the creative endeavor, So it's like, put yourself in your house as your creative outlet. Put yourself in your clothing. Put yourself in your hair. Just make your life a creative project, So they are my 5 ways to cultivate your creativity. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a few ideas about other kind of videos I want to do like this. So if you like it, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications, and I'll see you next time.